What it do, Packer Nation? Camille Davis here, coming to you from the Pack a Day Podcast YouTube page, right after the Packers' 27-18 win over the Washington Commanders, pushing those Green Bay Packers to a 2-0 record to start off this 2025 season. And this game against Washington, this is one of those games where it's got to be a coach's dream, right? Because it's like you won the game, but you have so many teachable moments, so many different areas in this game where there is room for improvement, and the Packers will have to continue to improve. But you got the win. There's nothing like teachable moments when you actually got the win along the way. But in this game, the Packers left points on the board, but down the stretch when they had to respond, they did. Like, let's look at it this way. Last week against the Lions, the Packers had 4 penalties for 40 yards. A pretty clean game. One of the things that ailed the Packers in years past was the penalties, right? Today, 10 penalties for 77 yards. They got in their way a lot. The pre-snap penalties were there. Holding penalties were there. Just have to be sharper, have to be better. You also saw moments in the passing game where the timing wasn't quite there between Love and the receivers. A little too much on it, not enough on it. Some plays that could have been touchdowns pretty much just didn't come to fruition. So you're dominating the game. The Packers are dominating the game, but the scoreboard wasn't reflecting it because of the penalties, because of those missed shots that they weren't able to connect with Love and some of those receivers. Like when it was a 7-point game in the fourth quarter, 17-10 Packers. The Packers had a 345 to 144 advantage in yards gained, but it was only a 7-point game at that point. But again, 7-point game. I mentioned the response. The offense responded. The defense responded. It's a 7-point game in the fourth quarter, and the touchdown drive that the Packers put together to push that 7-point lead back to 14 was beautiful. Matt LaFleur was in his bag. You saw Savion Williams in a Wildcat going to the left. The next play, you see Golden on what I believe was a sweep going to right. Like they just mixed in so many different things on that drive and found Tucker Kraft, if I remember correctly, for a touchdown to end that particular drive. And then it's a 14-point lead, and defense goes out there and turns over the Commanders on downs. Keyshawn Nixon, the man that people had a lot of questions about. He had a huge pass breakup on that fourth down play there to keep that lead at 14. Shoot, Nixon had a great game, period. I believe 5 pass breakups in this game. This defense, y'all, this Packer defense looks very, very real 2 games into the season. Like there were situations outside of the one I just mentioned, like before the first half ended, the Commanders took over on their own 43, 2 minutes left, no points. They start the second half getting the ball back in Green Bay territory because Deebo Samuel had the big kickoff return. No points. The Packers defense today, 4 sacks, 8 pass breakups, 12 quarterback hits. The pressure rate that the Packers were able to get on Jaden Daniels was something he has never seen in his career. And that is not hyperbole. Per ESPN research, the Packers pressured Jaden Daniels on 24 of his 52 dropbacks. That's good for 46% of the time. The highest pressure rate or pressure percentage he has faced in the game in his entire career. Again, it's only his second year, so it's not a long time, but the Packers did something for the first time in his career. He was pressured on just 22% of his dropbacks last week. 46 this week against this Packers defense, 22 last week against the Giants, who, I mean, for all of their qualms, that front seven for the Giants is still pretty decent.
Hey, friends. I am so incredibly excited to announce that I'm going to be partnering with my favorite fantasy sports app, Sleeper, all season long here on Pack-A-Day. Now, what I love about this partnership is this has been the fantasy app that I have been using for forever, including with the current Dynasty League that I am in with the likes of Tom Grossi, Dusty Evely, Perry Goldstein, Maggie Loney, etc. And yes, I do have a championship season under my belt in that league, but I digress. If you have not heard of the fantasy app Sleeper yet, you are completely missing out. And I have a little secret for you. It is more than just a platform for your season-long fantasy leagues. It has so much more than that. This past year, millions of users enjoyed playing fantasy sports on Sleeper, but the app offers so much more. Live stats, real-time updates and visualizations on all stats, a news feed. You can get lightning fast updates on your favorite players and your favorite teams. Real-time chat. Engage with other users about individual plays and performance during the NFL and NBA season. So what are you waiting for? Download the #1 sports app today and experience it for yourself. And oh yeah, use promo code PACKADAY and you get 100% deposit match up to $100 on your very first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states. Check out Sleeper today.
Shout out to Keyshawn Nixon, mentioned the pass breakups for him. Devontae Wyatt made his presence felt. Carrington Valentine, another corner showing out. Micah Parsons, of course. LVN, Lucas Van Ness showing out. Jordan Love, 9 straight games without interception, the longest active streak currently going in the NFL right now. Josh Jacobs, 10 straight games with a touchdown now after getting another one tonight. Tucker Kraft had his first 100-yard game of his career, had finished the game with 124, 6 catches and a touchdown. Like, there are some good performances across the board to draw your attention to, of just like, bravo, y'all pulled it together. The scoreboard doesn't even reflect the dominance that the Packers had in this game. But again, some things to work on, some things to clean up. This is a Packers team that was down 2 offensive linemen, had a rotation going on that right side there with Belton and Kennard, seeing how that worked out. Ultimately, though, the Packers walk away from week 2, a short week at that. Play on Sunday, Thursday night football. And now you have a mini bye coming up, and you head into this mini bye 2-0. The first time the Packers have been 2-0 since 2020. And to do that, they beat the Lions, the team that has won the NFC North for the last 2 years. And now they beat the Washington Commanders, a team that played in the NFC Championship game last year. 2 really good teams that the Packers beat. 2 teams that, especially for the Lions, that were projected to be better than the Packers. Again, it's early, but the way this defense is playing, to see the control that Jordan Love is playing with, even though there's still room for improvement, not just with him, but for this team, whew, it can get scary. It's exciting right now. It's really exciting. So 2-0 Green Bay Packers. You got to love that. Make sure y'all keep tuning into the Pack a Day podcast on YouTube. You know, Andy is going to have you covered with a more in-depth breakdown of this game, because what a game it was. Frustrating at times, but ultimately it was a win. So you walk away happy with those results. As always, y'all, make sure you keep it locked in, and go Pack Go.